Respawn just gave me access to the brand new season before anybody else could test it. And I'm about to tell you every single thing you need to know when you play Apex Legends in Season 26. Thank you to Respawn and EA for giving me access. Y'all are the absolute goats. So we just loaded into the firing range. And one thing I will say is that Caustic is going to be a problem next season. They absolutely mega buffed Caustic. And for my Caustic mains out there, you guys are gonna enjoy the season a lot. So the first thing they did was his traps now slow like crazy. From the footage they showed us, you can no longer ash dash through them. You can't sparrow jump through it. It like super slows you down, and you can't really use movement abilities to get out, which is absolutely huge. Another thing about the Caustic traps, if you can see, they start at, if it would activate, if you see the Caustic traps, they start at 10 damage and ramp up. So it goes 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, until they leave the gas and like reset the timer, or they die from the gas itself. So right away, his traps are gonna be crazy good. They also rework the traps so that if you were to use a grenade, for example, let's see, the trap is right there. You throw a grenade, and I think this is really cool. The trap will go down, and the gas will disappear. But after a few seconds, it will come back up like normal. I think this is a really cool addition to Apex. It's going to add some outplay potential. It also allows you to counter Caustic traps, but it overall is just really cool. The next thing they added are field research points. So if you can see on the left side of my screen, Caustic has this new passive called field research, which allows you, once we level it up, allows you to get more perk slots. So right now Caustic has 2 perk slots, as you can see in the bottom left. If we upgrade them, it increases to 4. This means you can get every single Caustic perk, which is absolutely insane. Speaking of perks, he has 2 new perks. A new blue perk that is gain an additional tactical charge and +2 traps in the world. He also has a new purple perk, which is tactical recharges 300% faster when enveloped in Nox gas, which is, it's honestly really crazy. Overall, I think Caustic is going to be absolutely insane for both ranked, for pubs, for whatever you decide to play. Now, let's talk about other legend changes, which is in Bangalore. For my Bangalore mains, you are absolutely going to love her changes. So starting off with Bangalore, it's kind of bugged in the range. You don't have 4 perks. That would be busted. You only have 2. But she gets a brand new blue perk, which is 100 damage to enemy ults and destroys enemy tacs. This is very similar to Crypto EMP, so if you know what Crypto EMP does and it blows up everything around it, it's that, but in smoke form. So if we go ahead and take this upgrade here, I have no one to really test it in the range right now, but let's say if there was a Caustic trap here or Watson fences or anything like that, you just throw the smoke down and it would be destroyed. They showcased this in the gameplay trailer by destroying a rampart wall. It would also work, like I said, with Watson traps, or it would work with Caustic gas or anything like that. Another thing they changed about smokes, very similar to how I said about Caustic, right? If we were to pick up a grenade here, for example, like let's say the Arc Star, and we throw a smoke down. If we throw a grenade at the smoke, watch what happens. It disappears. This is just like CS2. If any of you guys play Counter-Strike, where you throw a nade in the smoke and it disappears, but bank smokes completely go away. And this is also for Fuse. So Fuse knuckle clusters, and I'm not sure, but maybe Fuse ult will also make the smokes disappear. So Fuse is going to be a great counter to both Bangalore and Caustic. And now for Bangalore's purple perks, we have a brand new perk that's Electrify Ultimate, dealing 10% damage and destroying enemy deployables. That's basically just like the smokes, but it's going to be in an ult form. So if we go ahead and throw down our ult, you can see the missiles are now electrified, and everything that hits will also be EMP'd, which is crazy. One other mega change to Bang, which I think is going to be game breaking. You see this door right here? If you have a smoke, you can just break the doors. You don't have to worry about kicking it anymore. So Bangalore is gonna be crazy. Imagine if you were inside. Oh, I took damage. Let me hide behind this door and heal. If you're an enemy Bangalore you can just... Dead. Absolutely dead. So those are two of the craziest legend changes they've added this season. Now let's talk about some other stuff they've added. So the RB45 got a complete rework. It is no longer a light fully auto pistol. It is a 3-round burst energy pistol, and it is insane. So if we go to this dummy right here, and we aim in. Like, bro, this gun is gonna be a lot of fun to use. It's a 3-round burst. It works very similar to the Nemesis if you guys use the Nemesis, but it is insane. And not only that, you can slap on a mag on it. You can slap on a laser sight. You can slap on any sight you want. And it just becomes an absolute powerhouse. They added a new hop-up, which is the elite weapons. This is the only elite weapon in the game right now, but it's like a seasonal type of thing, and it comes from Ballistic's Private Reserve. Now, on to other weapon changes. So, the hop-ups in the game have now been integrated with the base weapon in a new system they called locked hop-ups. So what this means is if we take a look at the alternator, for example, it says locked hop-up alternator 0 out of 150 points. What does that mean? So if you take a look at the bottom right of the screen, you'll see that it says 0 out of 150 in order to unlock the accelerator. So if we go to the dummy, shoot the bots a couple times, you'll see that the 150 popped up. And now we have actually unlocked accelerator for the gun. So you no longer need to go around the map and loot for hop-ups. You just need to use the weapon. And this goes for everything else, like the gun shield generator for the Hemlock, skull piercer for the 3030, and even for the select fire on the charge rifle. And I personally think that 250 points is a little bit low for this. So I hope that it gets a raise in the future. So when it comes to other gun changes, the Akimbo P20s have been moved to the care pack. And these things are still crazy. Like, these things are absolutely insane. They also moved the PK back to the floor, and I love the PK. It is my favorite shotgun in the game. It also has accelerator, the other accelerator guns being the alternator and the L-Star. The PK is a classic. I don't think you can headshot unless it is bugged in the build right now, but I love the PK. Me personally. Now, what other shakeups have they done to Apex to completely change the game? Well, they removed helmets, and as you can see, there is now an amp slot in your inventory. And now, what are these amps, you might be asking? These are the amps we have, and some of them are like, I can't believe they added this to Apex. I am so excited to play this. But amps are basically these things you find, I think they said they only spawn after Ring 2 when the bins close. But they're these rare items you can have that are like perks and modifiers to your legend. So, for example, this amp gives you infinite ammo for your weapons, and it locks 2 inventory slots. So, if we were to pick it up, and we see we have the amp there, these 2 slots were reserved for ammo. But now, these guns have infinite ammo. Similar to, like, if you're in the range, or if you popped, like, ballistical. And you might be thinking, that's pretty cool. But there's some other crazy ones. Since there's no more red helmet, there is an amp that gives you 25 extra shield capacity. Now, this basically makes it like the red helmets, where you now have 225 health instead of the normal 200. The next one we have is the Power Booster amp, which reduces tactical and ultimate charge time, also restores a tactical charge when you knock an enemy. This is a very simple and easy to understand one. Your cooldowns are a lot faster. You get your ult faster, you get your tactical faster, and whenever you knock people, you get your tactical back as well. The next one is Overflow Healer Amp. Cells and syringes heal 100% of shields and health over time, respectively. So what does this mean? So if we were to pick up the amp, and let's say we take a little bit of damage here. So as you can see, we are missing a bit of health. If we were to pop a cell, watch what happens. We would get the 25 health back, but then we would slowly regen the rest of our shield. And this also works with syringes. So if I were to pop a syringe, you would see that part of my health goes up, and then it would regen the rest of my health. And now the final amp, Bottomless Batteries Amp. Shield batteries are not consumed upon use if you have 2 or more in your inventory. This means if I were to pick up 2 batteries, right? Now it says not required. You have bottomless batteries. So this means if I were to keep taking damage, for example, boom, arc star pops. I need a heal.
Give my shield a recharge.
Let me pop a battery. Hide behind. Oh, wait. I still have 2 batteries in my inventory. So you'd only have to carry 2 batteries in your slot, and you have unlimited infinite batteries, which means, whew, you never have to stop fighting. Now, some other small stuff. LMGs got nerfed around the board. Hip fire is a lot less accurate. So for my Devo users, it's not as accurate as it used to be. The Mozambiques also got tighter hip fire, and they have increased fire rate. Now let's see it with a purple bolt. And they also added the paintball hop-ups into the game. So if you've ever played World's Edge and you went on Big Mod and you got the paintball hop-ups, they now have it for certain guns, like for example, the Eva. And those are the major weapon and legend changes they have added in Apex Legends Season 26. Let me know if you guys want to see more content. This is going to be a crazy season, and I can't wait to share more with y'all. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed.